Well, let's come back to this notion of design existing in a broader system. And if we're going to push further than where we currently find ourselves with craft, that we need to tap
Mhm.
into some of those other aspects of what design or design leadership might be. Now, something that I
Mhm.
found particularly refreshing in the talk that you gave and how you articulated this was you broke down design into three different aspects. You had the tradecraft, which is
Yeah.
what we've been talking about with design systems, the actual application of design, the expression of design, the UX and the UI of design. But you also
Mhm.
mentioned a second, which was stagecraft, and a third, which was statecraft. And there's a
Yep.
bit of a theme flowing through our conversation around influence. But I just wondered, Uday, if you wouldn't mind just telling us a little bit about each of those and why it's important to look at design as a whole in this way that you've articulated.
Yeah, for sure. Those three levels of craft, I mean, for me, it's a way of thinking about the different pieces and activities that are involved in designing. And I think it gives a little bit more nuance and understanding of how we apply our craft. Obviously, trade craft is what we all know and talk about and think about, the craft of making, whether it's artifacts like a flow diagram or wireframes and so forth, prototypes. But we also want to think about, what is the purpose of that tradecraft? Well, a lot of it is we make in order to understand and interpret like a set of requirements, translating it from a 100-page document into a prototype, right? Now we can have a richer conversation about our intent and the benefits for the users. Then there's another level of craft. I call it stagecraft. And what I realized for myself, and as I observe other designers and even in the teams I've worked on or worked with, we're staging workshops all the time, collaborative kind of efforts. You set up a war room, these kinds of stagings of events and situations and moments with cross-functional peers. And yeah, you'll get something out of it, but that may not be the purpose. Maybe the purpose is around the conversation. We need to get these five stakeholders talking to each other because they never talk to each other, or the right hand, left hand kind of a problem. So in a sense, we are setting that up. It is performative, admittedly, but there is theater, there is a theatrical quality to it. And as long as it enables dialogues to happen, that's a good thing. And
It's
then,
also
and so that's,
leadership as well, isn't it? I mean, it's
oh
something
yeah,
that we're doing in the act of trying to change and alter the status quo. As part of our political activity, we're actually, as you said, setting the stage for change to happen.
yes, exactly. And that's why you have multiple levels of craft in order to exude or demonstrate that leadership capacity, which then takes us to the third level of craft, statecraft. And this is around, yes, the politics, influence management, relationship building, all that kind of stuff. And, going back to what I've said previously, it is through the relationships that the designs can happen. And hopefully the output and quality can be achieved through that, well, relationship building, partnership building, especially with an eye towards a strategic connection between yourself, your team, and those cross functional peers.